Hello there and welcome back to some more Gran Turismo 5. Today we'll continue on Let's Play. This is episode 46. In today's episode we are taking a look at the Gran Turismo karting experience in the advanced difficulty in the special events. Final time we're ever doing karting experience. I'm very thankful because it's getting incredibly monotonous, as a lot of the special events do get eventually. So Gran Turismo karting trophy, we're going to the Tokyo Bay karting track. As usual, we are using the Kart 100, which is the only kart you can use for this. I've decided to buy another one just to variate the colours that we were using, this particular kart, the Prema kart, as I'm going to call it. But of course you get a free one in your garage after version 2, which means everyone who plays this game is going to get a free go-kart. Now, they are incredibly loud and noisy and irritating, so hopefully you can hear me over the sound of these. As I've said in previous karting experience, here's the gist of how they work. They're odd to drive, the brakes are only at the rear, so you want to only brake exclusively in straight lines. They are highly reactive through the corners. They're very much point and click vehicles, some of the best handling vehicles in the game, according to the game, which is why their PP ratings are ridiculous. I think these are actually rated like PP 450 and they have like 20 horsepower or something. It's actually insane. Fully automatic gearboxes, so nothing to worry about in terms of changing gear. The key to these really is just to only brake in a straight line and be prepared for how reactive they are. Tap steering is usually what I'm going for, as you can see here with the way the wheels moving, just because if you go full lock, eventually the rear end will try to meet the front end, and that's not fun. Fortunately, the AI are very easy around these things, so there's not too much competition there. Tokyo Bay track is a karting track that doesn't show up any more than that. I can't remember, I'll be honest, I don't remember if these are randomly generated or not. I'm going to say they're not, but they're based on tracks that would be randomly generated. To be honest with you, I don't remember, but it wouldn't really matter because the finale is actually at a track that you can drive around normally in, not just the go-karts, which is nice. Gran Turismo 6 had a lot more variation on the go-karting tracks, which is why I'm looking forward to go-karting in that game much more than I'm looking forward to the karting within this game. So there we go. Well then, not really too much to say on this one. As you can see, the AI are absolute cakewalk, and because advanced, I mean, I don't know if the AI difficulty goes up. I wouldn't really know how it would. I think the track should just get slightly more complicated the more you go up in difficulty. Realistically, it's just the same event over and over again. Because you're always using the same kart, there's no change to the difficulty or anything of the sort. So, for me personally, yeah, you can do all the karting in one go, and you probably won't really notice too much of a difference between all of it. And also worth pointing out with the go-karts is there's no prizes for completing any of the go-karting levels, so really, unless you're going for 100% completion, there's no real point of delving into the go-karts. They're just not really worth it, and they're not all that much fun. Although you do make a relatively good amount of money from it, so I mean, if you're using a free go-kart, if you don't mind wasting time, I guess it's there, but if you want to get through the game efficiently, then skip the go-karts, because they're just not really worth doing. So there we go. Fortunately, I don't have to speak about these things ever again. This is the nice thing with this part of the game. A lot of the special events are starting to get wrapped up, which is good because a lot of them are very much the same. I mean, the worst ones are Gran Turismo Rally, which really, that just drags on and on and on. I actually like the rallying mode in this game, but trying to, I mean, as you saw with the last episode, I can't commentate over that for 40 minutes. AMG Driving Academy is pretty bad as well, and unfortunately that's not actually going to be over and done with. Anyways, 167 grand, so maybe the karts are worth it after all, because at the end of this you'll make 300, about 330, 340k, which is nice. Next up, we go to a track which we can actually drive normally, the Autumn Ring Mini. So for the first time and the only time in these go-karting events, a track that you can actually drive on normally in the game, which is nice. So track knowledge is actually something you can do here. And the go-karts drive pretty well around Autumn Ring Mini. I can't imagine driving these around anywhere. I was going to joke and say I wish they put in like some Nürburgring finale, but I definitely don't wish that, because that would be absolutely painful going down the straights with just absolutely nothing to do. But there you go. Anyways, this one, if I remember rightly, this one's actually a little bit more difficult just because the AI are a little bit more competent around Autumn Ring Mini, because a lot of the corners you can take sort of flat out in the kart, so there's no sort of weird braking zones or anything going on with them. They're going on the grass. I don't recommend doing that, because you'll just lose the arse end of the kart, but fortunately they don't have to worry about it. A little bit of understeer through that corner right there. Yeah, this one is a little bit more difficult. Your best bet to get them is the braking down into turn 1, and of course the exit of turn 1, trying to go for an overtaking move there on George Russell -1, but didn't really work. Try and get around the outside of Sergio Perez, try to hope that he doesn't shove us into the gravel, as Sergio Perez usually likes to do when he's getting overtaken. Did we do not? Yeah, this is the level we're on. I'm making form references. Maybe the tyres were cold, that's why they were going up into it, but I don't really know. Anyways, we get that random guy up the inside. I know I was just making a joke about Sergio Perez, but I sent him to the Neville worm with that dive bomb. And 2 more cars to go in front of us. Let's see if we can go ahead and catch those. Once again, tap steering is the way to do it. Also, unlike number 4, Lando Norris, and then 34, I don't know who that would be, I can't even make a joke. Yeah, as I mentioned, tap steering. I think this... No, don't be telling a lie there, but this is one of the few karting tracks that actually have grass as opposed to walls stopping you. So if you go off here, you've probably got a more torrid time of rejoining the race, as opposed to in that Tokyo Bay track. If you go off there, you smash into a wall, probably lose about 5-10 seconds, but you can make that time pretty easily because the AI are quite stupid. Well, as in the case of this track, you're not going to quite do that. That was a very nice line through that corner, if I do say so myself. I impressed myself. In fairness, when was this recorded? This was recorded in 18th of November last year. And as I record this now, it's July. It's the last day of July 2022. So, yeah, this footage I haven't seen in 8 months. I'm very inconsistent with this series, as you can tell. I have a big moment there. Yeah, sorry. I'm really bad at this YouTube thing. Anyways. As we come on to the final lap, as you can see, you get gold for first, silver second, third bronze. You basically just go all out and get the win, because there's no real pity prize here. And let's be honest, if you're in second place on like the last lap, what are you doing? You evidently are not good enough to be a Gran Turismo karting champion like I am, which is obviously the biggest award in all of the motorsports. I mean, truly, you know, even Max Verstappen isn't a Gran Turismo karting champion like I am. Anyways, coming down to this final corner, let's get through it, let's get karting over and done with. There we go, no fastest lap. I think I'm actually slow when I'm not battling with people, sort of trying to maintain paces. Not my strong suit, but either way, we get the gold, we win the race, and we get our healthy paycheck from doing all of that. Hooray. To avoid losing valuable RPM. What? I don't think it really I don't know. I'm not going to question the game. Anyways, that is it for Gran Turismo Karting. Finally, thank God. As I mentioned previously, no rewards, no prizes, no good thing happens once you beat Gran Turismo Karting, other than the fact you just never have to drive Gran Turismo Karting experience ever again. And I think that's one of our first special events that we've fully knocked out of all difficulty level. And there's more to come. Oh, never mind, you get matte green paint. Woo. Anyways, that's it for this episode. Thank you all very much for watching. And next time, we are going to be taking a look at the AMG Driving Academy at the advanced difficulty. Oh boy, join us for that. Until then, farewell.
Yes, I will. Then laid in the palm of a license. License.